Some people laugh the loudest in situations that would overwhelm everyone else, not because nothing hurts them, but because pain once taught them how to survive. For them, humor can create distance from heavy memories. A joke turns fear into something they can name, share, and control. It does not erase what happened, but it can make the moment feel smaller. That is why their laughter may appear at strange times. They are not always carefree. Sometimes they are regulating emotions that once felt impossible to carry, but there is a difference between using humor to process pain and using it to avoid pain completely. One can help a person breathe. The other can keep wounds hidden. They do not laugh because the pain was small. They laugh because making it smaller is sometimes how they continue moving. Subscribe to Thalvin's Psychology to understand the hidden psychology behind everyday behavior. After surviving upheaval, frustrations may no longer feel powerful enough to control them. Traffic, canceled plans, rude comments, or unexpected delays can seem small compared with what they have endured. Past experiences often change the scale they use to measure difficulty. Instead of immediately taking someone's behavior personally, they may pause and imagine other explanations. Maybe that person is exhausted, frightened, grieving, or carrying a problem nobody else can see. This perspective can make them appear calm when others react quickly, but their calmness does not mean they feel nothing. It may simply mean they learned to delay their response until they understand what is happening. What feels like a crisis to someone else may feel manageable to them, because their definition of bad was shaped by much larger storms. Their reactions do not mean that something is broken. Many of those behaviors were shaped as responses to difficult environments. The brain can learn to prioritize danger, notice changes, and prepare for what might go wrong. When uncertainty once carried consequences, staying alert may have felt safer than relaxing. Over time, that pattern can become automatic. Even after the threat disappears, the nervous system may continue using the same strategies that once protected them. A skill that helped someone survive in the past can later make life feel tense or exhausting. That does not make them weak, damaged, or abnormal. It means their mind and body adapted to the world they knew. Their nervous system may have adapted to a world where being prepared felt safer than being relaxed. Healing begins when safety is experienced often enough for old survival patterns to become less necessary. Painful experiences can make some people unusually sensitive to emotions that others overlook. They may notice a change in tone, a forced smile, a longer pause, or tension spreading through a room. This awareness often develops because reading other people once helped them stay safe. When moods were unpredictable, small signals mattered. Over time, that vigilance can become emotional intelligence. Most people hear what someone says. They also notice the pause before the sentence, the change in breathing, and the emotion hidden behind the words. This sensitivity can make them compassionate and quick to offer support, but it can also become exhausting. They may assume responsibility for feelings that are not theirs to manage. They may try to fix everyone, calm every conflict, or prevent disappointment before it appears. Their empathy is valuable, but healing also means learning that understanding someone's pain does not make them responsible for carrying it. After difficult experiences, some people begin to see life with clarity. Relationships may feel precious, time may feel less replaceable, and moments may carry meaning. Psychologists describe this as post-traumatic growth, the change that can emerge while someone struggles to rebuild after adversity. But growth does not mean the trauma was good. It does not mean everyone becomes stronger, wiser, or more grateful because they suffered. Pain and growth can exist at the same time. A person may value life deeply while still carrying fear, grief, or wounds that have not healed. Growth does not erase what happened. Sometimes, it simply changes what a person chooses to value afterward. They may become more intentional about love, boundaries, peace, and the people they allow close. The experience remains painful, but it may no longer be the only thing defining their future. Some people appear calm while remaining intensely alert beneath the surface. They may choose a seat facing the door, notice every exit, or prepare several backup plans for a simple outing. This can be a sign of hypervigilance, when the body's threat detection system stays more active than necessary. It does not always mean they believe danger is certain. Often, their nervous system simply learned that being surprised could be costly. They may know that the room is safe, while their body continues searching for evidence that it is not. That tension can make unfamiliar places exhausting, even when nothing is wrong. It is important not to diagnose someone from one habit alone. A preference for control or visibility can have many explanations. But for some people, constant awareness is an old survival skill that remains active long after the original threat has completely passed. People who have endured too much often minimize their own pain. They say, "I'm fine, it wasn't that serious," or "other people have it worse." Comparing suffering can make them believe they have not earned the right to ask for help. Admitting that they are struggling may feel like weakness, failure, or becoming a burden, so they keep moving, even when their mind and body are asking them to stop. They became so skilled at surviving that they sometimes no longer recognize when they are struggling. Endurance, however, is not proof that support is unnecessary. A person can carry pain for years and still deserve care. Healing begins when they stop measuring whether their pain is bad enough and start accepting that it matters simply because it hurts them deeply. In relationships, people who have endured too much can be loyal yet difficult to know. They may answer a call at 3 in the morning, solve a crisis, or stay beside someone through the worst moment of their life. But when asked what they need, they often become quiet, vague, or unavailable. They know how to be needed. What they may not know is how to need someone without feeling unsafe. Connection can feel comforting and dangerous at the same time. Giving support allows them to remain useful and in control. Receiving support requires trust, vulnerability, and the possibility of disappointment. That is why extreme independence is not always freedom. Sometimes, it is a strategy built to prevent another painful letdown. They may crave closeness while resisting dependence, creating distance from the people they love most. Healing means learning that safe relationships do not demand self-abandonment. It means discovering that needing someone does not make them weak, and being loved does not have to come with a hidden cost. People who have endured too much often become full of contradictions. They may adapt quickly to major changes while controlling small details. Managing those details can create stability when larger problems feel impossible to control. They can be strong and sensitive, realistic and hopeful, generous and guarded at the same time. Their ability to handle change does not mean change is easy. It may mean they learned how to function when everything felt uncertain. Chaos taught them how to function under pressure. Peace asks them to learn an entirely different skill, how to let their guard down. A crisis may feel familiar, while calmness feels strangely uncomfortable. They may know what to do when life falls apart, yet feel restless when nothing needs fixing. Healing means discovering that safety does not require control, and peace is not something to fear. Beneath their strength, they may grieve who they once were. They may miss the self who trusted easily, lived lightly, and did not search every room for danger. They may grieve a childhood they never experienced, a softness they had to protect, or safety they never received. This loss is difficult to explain because the person they miss still lives within them. Healing may not bring back the person they were before the storm. It may help them discover who they can become when they no longer have to prepare for one. Strength is not never falling apart. It is learning how to rebuild without being ashamed that some pieces have changed. Pain can create wisdom and compassion, but no one should have to suffer to prove their worth. If this helped you understand yourself or someone you love, subscribe to Thalvin Psychology to understand the psychology behind everyday behavior.